Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, this is going to be a Divine Feminine check-in. What's going on with the Divine Feminines? What would the masculines say to the DFs? And advice for the DMs. So here we go. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for where the Divine Feminines are at? How are they perceiving all things on this journey right now? What are the emotions the Feminines are experiencing, processing, navigating at this time? What would their divine counterpart say to them if they had no filter at this time, no fear? What would the DMs offer to the Feminines about the journey, about the situation, about what the Feminines are expressing here? And I'm also going to get some advice for the DMs. Shuffling 3 times. Ooh, I said 3 times and only shuffled twice. I was thinking thrice. Interesting. All right, there we go. Ooh, this just popped up. So adaptive crystals, this is the Knight of Coins. So masculine, slow and steady. I'm just gonna leave that one aside. Keep laying the foundation, making foundational steps, decisions. Okay, where are the Feminines at consciously about the connections right now? Oh, 3 of Swords. So this is third-party heartache. This is anything that's unresolved. This is anything that has been dormant or masked until now. There does seem to be, I just heard a ceremonial energy to this. So Feminines, you might want to sit in actual meditation. You might want to do a releasing ceremony, releasing guilt, shame, worry, disbelief in love, anything that's holding you back about your worthiness or you deserving to receive love. Emotion, happiness. I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. Ooh, heartache contrasted by happiness. So if you're not happy right now, Feminines, you're not on the right path. So whatever you're thinking, if it's not causing lighthearted joy, freedom, there is a deeper, better feeling way to go, direction to go with your precious life force energy. What can we see? What would the masculines say? Oh, I want to start a family with you. So dry your eyes, you know, dry your tears. This is necessary to purge all of this out in preparation for this family. These masculines are saying it's going to be good, Feminines. Advice for the masculines right now? Oh, it's not quite time yet. 9 of Wands is like a guarded energy, but for good reason. It's also the suit of karma. So these masculines are very practical with the authentic karmic work that's being done. They know that certain things are very close to being balanced out, but not quite yet. And so while there's still heartache, while there's still caution, let's keep focusing on the happiness and these beautiful goals. So if starting a family doesn't resonate, that can just be coming together into more of a union, sacred union, or passion projects. Take it as it resonates. What can we see for these Feminines on the heart, on the conscious mind for their counterpart? Justice, okay, legal matters. This can have to do with accounting, legal matters, divorces, contracts, work scenarios, housing scenarios. This can even just be thought paradigms that need to fall that are faulty. On the conscious mind, though, whatever these factors are that have been unjustified, that have taken priority above these unions, the Feminines are saying, yes, yes, indeed, these things have to play out before it's justified for us to come together for real. And self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So these Feminines understand that until we go through justice until we earn our sovereignty, our mastery, we actually don't have the proper alignment, the self-esteem, the worthiness, the trust in self to warrant being able to go all in. So a lot of times, feminines, there's been a lot of emotion, a desire to go all in, but this is saying until you go through the rites of passage, even into the material realm with all the legal matters and all those things that have to balance out on your side and your masculines, until you do that, you haven't learned the inner workings of mastery, until you're actually free and clear to pursue, not just hypothetically, not just on the mind space or in your wishes. It's also fully rolling out in the material realm, and that is the densest realm. So once it happens, transpires in the physical, you have done that on every layer of your existence, and that is when it is aligned. That's when it's authentic. That's when it's complete. So these feminines are very much wanting genuine love, connection on all levels. What would the masculines say? I feel the same way. So these masculines are rooting for you, feminines. They see this end in sight, the light at the end of the tunnel as well. What is the advice for the masculines? Alchemy. Every little bit of progress alchemizes between the two. It's a tandem process, and it's mutual. What you want is wanting you, masculines and feminines. What can we see on the heart space for these connections? Queen of Cups, unconditional love embodied. So these feminines absolutely adore you, choose you, masculines. On the heart space, this journey has created so much depth. And friendship, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. There is truly unconditional love. A few months ago, there were a lot of messages about those last remaining bits of resistance where the feminines were saying, oh, I don't want to have to make this just friendship. I don't want to give my masculine the wrong idea by putting them in the friend box. It's not about that. It's not at the expense of love. And so this is a more balanced energy here, where it's truly this anchoring in the friendship, and it's not an either or, it's not a caveat, it's not a consolation prize. These feminines are really understanding the true meaning of friendship and the blessing that we can witness when we see the affinity, the alliance, the exchange, the value, the blessing in the connection that doesn't have the romantic or intimate or sexually intimate energies involved, where it can be more focused on the genuine alignment. Friendship is genuine alignment. It's not necessarily romantic or non-platonic. So this expansion of consciousness where the feminines are not distracted by the romance, the emotions, in a intimate way, non-platonic way, they are really truly anchoring the long-term energies of authentic friendship. What would the masculines say? I want a fresh start with you. So they want to kick off the romance, feminines, in a way that includes this foundation of friendship. So when you might have first met, the passion, the chemistry, the romantic pull might have been love at first sight. It might have been so intense, but not made sense because you didn't know each other. And so this friendship has been an opportunity to really understand who each is. But these masculines want a fresh start. It's not even that they want a redo of what you have already experienced. They want a fresh start on a firm foundation of trust because they know your character and you know theirs. It's a whole different ballgame when you start a romantic process with someone after a foundation of friendship, rather than not knowing them really, or knowing their character, or being aware of how they are through the good times and bad, sickness and in health, all of those things. So these masculines want, genuinely desire a fresh start that is not like the way that it has kicked off in the past or not kicked off in the past with you for these reasons. What is the advice for the masculines? karma. This is the awakening, the judgment card. So masculines, right now, in order to have this fresh start, focus on your own revelation of cause and effect, of the things that are on your plate that you have to deal with right now that will get you positioned for this fresh start. So anything that you know is a priority that's pulling on your attention at this time, focus wholeheartedly on everything that you need to balance out in your life so that this connection with your feminine can come to the forefront. You haven't seen the inner workings of everything yet that needs to be balanced so that the cycles of singlehood, of immaturity, of settling are put to rest. So this is your time, masculines, to tie those things up in a bow. The lotus is the crown chakra. So this is praying to be shown, asking the divine to illuminate to you anything that you are still frustrated by, struggling with, bound to, so that you can see the light and let it go. So you can come forward to the fun part of your life, the ascended part, the best part, the loving part, the joyful part, the fresh start part. What can we see for the heart space? Where are the feminines at? 9 of Wands. We already saw that for the masculines. This is the knowing that it's not quite time yet, but so soon. And failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So whatever that Justice card was, on the heart space, these feminines understand that everything that has come before has positioned them to love you, masculines, to be in true love alignment. So right now they're looking at everything that has happened. They're taking stock of it. They're being supported by the things that have been illuminated. They're no longer naive in love, I just heard. And so all of those perceived failures have qualified them to love you and to be loved, to be receptive, to not be in their masculine polarity and effort for love, but to receive it because they are worthy. Being reminded of the self-esteem card, I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Their wisdom, their insight, their clarity, their righteousness benefits you and them, masculines. What would the masculines say to the feminines? You are so very special. Yeah, they don't see an example of this outside of you, not in their life, not with romantic prospects. For you, feminines are the one for them. They see it in you. They see this light in you. This is one of the sun cards in this deck. The radiance, they see your truth. They see your essence because of the work you've done, because of the heart that you have, because of the soul that you live by. They see this special energy in you. What is the advice for the masculines? Oh, let the good times roll, I just heard. 3 of Cups. So this is beautiful emotional flow. So some communication, there are bridesmaids on this card. So that might be that the masculines, this situation involves marriage, possibly in the future, or the theme of weddings might be, for some, you might be seeing your counterpart at a wedding. You might be in a wedding party together, I'm even getting. For some, that's not going to resonate for everyone. But this is ultimately the flow of emotion that indicates true, safe exchange, not bickering and karma and petty loops, drama loops. This is healed interaction in this card. You are so special to your masculine feminines that they are doing this healing work to get to a place of purity where they can commune with you on this level. They haven't been able to open up fully. It hasn't been time. You've needed to work on reconciliation of your perspectives and beliefs, and so have they. The world does a number on us. But when we are awake on the chessboard, we can use all of those lessons to bring forward wisdom and help others to see the light too. What are the feminines thinking about what to manifest? Reunion, closeness, and fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Believing in this, you know, continuing to stay the course towards more connectivity, laying this foundation, doing what's needed, loving ourselves so much that we are saying to ourselves, we have all the time we need to do it right, to dispel the fear, to overcome, to rewrite the story about perceived failures. We have that capacity to keep going towards love. What would the masculine say? Ooh, if I follow you, I could lose everything. So this is saying, feminines, with a bit of that standoffish energy, that the masculines' plates are full right now. So it's not just about them wanting to come forward to you. If they were to drop everything they are accountable for or taking responsibility for right now, they could lose all their progress. They could lose all of their lessons. They would be basically putting you on a pedestal, idolizing you, and foregoing all of the work that they've been doing, karmically speaking, and escaping. Coming towards you would not be the right priorities. They have to learn their rite of passage. And if they were to just fold and not address the things that they need to process and live right now, they would lose themselves, basically. Losing everything is akin to losing themselves. What is it, the advice for the masculines? Seekers of crystal. So this is the Page of Pentacles. This is kindness. This is small interactions, messages back and forth. This is acknowledgement. It's not running. This is staying the course, but not offering everything that you will offer one day, but it's kind. It's present. It's real. It's truthful. It's honest. It's available. It doesn't mean that it's time to deepen, but it's not time to shy away. This is real, sincere, authentic truth. So masculines, that could mean that you are being guided to communicate. I'm seeing simple text messages. This can be initiating contact. This can be a meetup. This can be an offer. This can be communication, conversation, sharing time. So even though masculines, you're saying you can't offer everything and you can't really drop the ball with what you've got rolling, you're not rejecting your feminine, and you're learning to not, you know, have to compartmentalize these aspects of your life. There is a balance being struck here. These masculines are seeing a future, and they're also seeing the material realm merging. They are seeing, as they do this alignment work, that worlds are truly coming in, merging, colliding, overlapping. And so it's not an all or nothing, masculines. Remember, if you feel like you could lose everything, you don't have to make it an either or. You can blend by being sincere with what you can offer. So we're beginning to see this genuine deepening towards more alignment coming in. What can we see for the actions these feminines are wanting to take? Ooh, the moon and trust. They're wanting to become more secure in the uncertainty and trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So right now, many times on these journeys, the emotions get the best of us and we have to balance out. So pretty much guaranteed when you manifest a twin flame journey, you've already come to a certain kind of consensus within your own being. You're good on your own at that level of development. And then you bring in a divine counterpart, a high-level soulmate, a twin flame, whatever name you want to call what you are navigating. And all of a sudden, everything that you thought was balanced out as an individual comes into the context of relationship. And it's the whole next level of factoring in everything you learned autonomously and now making sure that you have that same sense of integrity, righteousness with another, instead of giving power away or losing ourselves. And so right now, feminines, it looks like a trust building, not needing to know how things will all work out, but trusting your intuition every step of the way at this stage of the journey. What would the masculines say? Do you even see me that way? Yeah, so this is where you can fully trust your process and trust the love your masculine has. something is going to come up in the energy here where your masculines are going to see through your actions, not your words, not your emotional expression, but your when push comes to shove kind of thing. They are witnessing something about your character that can only be seen in actions when push comes to shove. So there's something that is uncharacteristic that a karmic scenario would never offer these masculines, and it's going to dawn on them that you truly are different indeed, in action and indeed, but indeed you are different. So yeah, they're going to be shaking off some of that disbelief. What is the advice for the masculines? The lovers, believe in love, masculines, because these feminines do love you, and their actions are going to line up. You're going to see your feminines' actions lining up. Money where their mouth is, I just heard. What can we see for the biggest challenge for these feminines? The Magician in the inverse and envy. I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Okay, this is actually giving very sexual vibes for me. This is the Magician in the inverse is the lust, the sexual manipulation, third parties, fearing that the feminines are not attractive enough, young enough, beautiful enough on the surface, advanced spiritually enough, rich enough, emotionally grounded enough, free enough, free and clear to pursue enough. Any of the fears that the feminines have, the envy associated with fearing that they're going to miss out, and that the masculines would choose somebody else intimately, sexually, because of what is the feminine's perception that they're falling short, or that they're not available to the masculine in the way that they fear the masculine would want a counterpart to be. Okay, that's a really big message. That's a big challenge. So, you know, every time we get a challenge like that, it literally implies we're at that stage of development where those kinds of fears are now safe to be released. So remember, anytime something comes up as a challenge and you can consciously pinpoint it, I saw 2222, it's not to scare you. It's literally to say, wow, I guess I'm at that stage where the love that I have now amassed is sufficient to witness this fear for what it is, lovingly to release it. When we can be aware of it, we can let go and let God. And so the competition, comparison, lack templates are coming up here. So feminines, sink back into the divine process. Trust the divine. Trust that you have been brought through this journey and it's not a trick, and that whatever you're perceiving right now in contrast, that your masculine may not want you, that's a projection about your own worthiness. And turn the lens back on you, the mirror exercise, and ask yourself, where are you letting yourself down? Where are you not living up to your own standards? Where is that vulnerability or insecurity coming in that you're projecting your masculine is hyper aware of in you? So there may be something that you're not offering yourself right now, feminines, that you're projecting. What would the masculines say? Ooh, yeah, exactly. I think we should see other people. So if you start going into those comparing and contrasting energies, feminines, it gives back this insecurity. And now, I am not saying that this is actually happening, but it's really interesting on these journeys how when we have lower vibrational things going on, and remember, this is the challenge spot. So this is like the weakest link kind of thing. It will give a reflection in your reality, pardon me, that mirrors back that instability within us. And so if you fear that your masculine is going to be going out there and being with other people or wanting that, and you just sort of give up on yourself and don't bring it back into check, and then take your own cues and you know, excel and deepen, call your empowerment back and thrive. If you don't do that, then that is like you saying, nope, I don't believe in myself enough to manifest union with this person. And that's where self-sabotage and other rejection energies come in. And you could push your masculine to someone else because you might just say, I don't have what it takes. I'm not good enough. And that may be reflected back to you. So the challenge is seeing that you and how much you love yourself is what empowers you to believe that you are worthy of true love or not. And so it's an inside job. It doesn't matter how much somebody, you know, puts us on a pedestal and idolizes us. If we don't feel it inside, it's hollow, and it won't be long lasting because it's not built on love. Love is the only eternal. So if anything comes together and it's not legitimate, it won't last. So some message here. So I'm not saying that it's legitimately that other masculines are, that the DMs are wanting to see other people. This is just the challenge, feminines, is seeing that either you are projecting that this counterpart may not prefer you for XYZ and you need to focus on self-love, or you don't actually really prefer the masculine you're watching this for, and you just aren't at a developmental stage yet to believe you deserve someone better or a better scenario. So there's a few things going on. In some cases, karmic masculines will be saying this. In some cases, aligned masculines potentially could be also saying this. If these inner thought forms are substantial enough, even an aligned counterpart will express these frequencies. That doesn't mean there's something broken with the feminine that's thinking that way. It does, however, mean that there is wisdom to be had about the way reality works, about the way manifestation works, about the way our inner beliefs generate our realities externally. So this is the challenge, and I would say this is the epitome of manifestation challenge, is thinking that anything outside of ourselves has more control or power over what we access and receive than our own beliefs do. Bring it back, do the work. What can we see for advice for these masculines dealing with the feminines going through this? Hold tight, hold down the ship, hold down the fort, sit tight, hang tight. Masculines, stay steady. So masculines, if you're watching this, you may feel a reverberation in the energy with your feminine. I did get in yesterday's reading that some feminines in the collective may have temptations coming towards them right now. If they're not in righteousness, there was a caution for those feminines not to do anything out of rebellion, but be sure that it's not them letting themselves down if they say yes to certain things. And so masculines, you're going to just have to ride this out right now. There's something going on that's been a ricochet in the energy. So this is a good time, masculines, to take accountability for anything that mixed signals that you might be sending, because it goes both ways. If you're watching this, masculines, you may have sent out something. I'm seeing social media or things that would have caused your feminine to think that you're opening up your options. They may have gotten the wrong impression through something you've said or shared or done, that they might now be questioning if you are as interested in them as they are in you. So if you are secure in this connection, really utilize discretion in what you're putting out there to look cool or look more attractive or be a certain kind of way. If it's not genuine and authentic to you, masculines, don't be misleading by putting out the wrong fake news. Interesting. So feminines, if your insecurities have been at play, it might not be legitimately that your masculine wants to see other people, but you might be misreading or making more of their kind of imbalanced mixed signals. So yeah, this is like a speed wobble. If we try to get ahead of ourselves too soon with expectations, when illusions come up, we give them more power than they need. When we're in our mastery, we see illusions come up and we can nip it in the bud without being attached. When we're in mastery, we don't actually create those kind of illusions. There's positive momentum, and those things aren't in the bandwidth. So we are in a developmental, this is the challenge spot though. This is a very deep message. Let's see what the solution is. Seven of Pentacles, investing, adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So objectivity, being objective. So whatever is bubbling in the energy right now, we're meant to see it as, I heard linguistics, mental gymnastics and linguistics. So we're meant to see these things objectively and look at them as hypotheticals and energetics 101. So we're meant to be using the creative empowerment of our minds to see how energy works this way and start to see the potential adversities as opportunities to invest in manifesting that which we want to see rather than that which we are afraid will happen. Depending on where our belief lays, we will self-sabotage if the fear runs the show. We will create miracles if the belief in love comes to the forefront. What would the masculine say about this? I imagine you naked. So immediately when you start believing in the love, your masculine is infinitely attracted to you and only you, feminines. What is the advice for the masculines? Nine of Orbs and okay, so there is some anxiety being worked out, and then wifey energy. So self-soothing. Masculines right now, don't believe everything you think and feel. Your feminine might be putting out some intense energy right now. If your feminine is working on coming into impeccable balance, but they have something that has triggered them energetically, you might be picking up on some kind of instability, and you're being asked right now to really trust what you want with this feminine and to balance out your own anxiety and keep coming back to your own truth. Don't get, you know, every time things bounce back and forth in the energy, it threatens to get worse and worse every time it's ricocheted. Somebody needs to bring it and hone it in to back to love. And when both counterparts get really good at course correction like that, we close the gap and we don't go there to begin with. So masculines, yes, you have an incredible ability right now to, first off, that message about mixed signals, anything that you could have put out that perpetuated a misleading energy for your feminine, just know that your feminines are very sensitive to any kind of misalignments where they don't feel like you are all in. Even prior to sacred union, they're very aware of the energies when you're not in your alignment. And so it could have been something here where you were having a bad day and you posted something, or you were having a bad day and something went out there telepathically. And then your feminine is running with it and fearing in even a slight way. And then you have this anxiety coming to you and you're thinking it's coming from your feminine because you weren't being fully accountable with your energy. And it's going back and forth like that. So both counterparts right now are being asked to bring it back to love, to not believe the illusions, to come back first person to what we each wish to manifest. What is the direction in the near future? Two of Cups and health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. I just heard preparation for holy matrimony. So focusing on love. This is in the inverse. So what does love mean to you? You know, If you don't think that this counterpart that you are engaging with or thinking about can offer you your ideals in love, what you've been divinely shown is real love, you might want to consider manifesting with somebody else, or tracing the coordinated healing that would still need to happen in you to be able to believe you are worthy of love in the ways that you believe love to be exemplified. So if your masculine really doesn't appear to be healing, there's going to be a mirror in you where you need to bring it back into focus, that that kind of love is possible. You're going to have to ask your connection to source, what would it require for me to believe in being able to have access to that kind of love in my life? You're going to have to ask the divine what you have to let go of, what fear, what paranoia, what trauma, what beliefs, what disservices have been done to you that you'll have to forgive or release in order to believe that those were in the past and you can now access love. So masculines, your feminines are really understanding these impeccable standards and what they want and desire to experience in love. They want only optimum health. They don't want their love relationship to be drama or bad for each other. When we have true love relationships, life expectancy is extended. Health and wellness and thriving come in. And so these feminines are having a reality check where they only want loving relationships that are going to add years to their lives. Yes, beautiful. What's going on? I hope you'll wait for me, the masculines are saying. So feminines, yeah, you're doing the work. That's triggering your masculine to do some soul searching and prioritizing and getting down to business with whatever's on their plate that they can't just escape from and come over. They're also going through their rite of passage. You know, it's more similar on these journeys than different, but in our ego, in our wounding, we don't acknowledge that. We don't see it that way, and we think we're the only one, but really, we're not. Oh yeah, twin flames. So advice, masculines, there's a gap here. You might be at a distance, but you are connected here. And there are a set of eyes, there's a face looking at the big picture. So no matter how far apart you are right now, there is no such thing as time and space. You're in this together. And this is lighting your own life purpose, your own ignition for righteousness, for love, for inspiration, your own soul spark. It doesn't matter how far apart you are, you're the same. So yeah, these connections are coming in, everybody. But it does require us to anchor the internal alignment that dispels fear. And that's a lot of the message from today's reading. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.